Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hold On to It On podcast. I'm your host, Erin, and today I have a very special guest. It's Heather from the AFSP Massachusetts.
Hi.
Oh, hi. It's so
Oh,
good to
okay.
see
I
you.
know. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm busy with kids on vacation this week. So,
Oh, really?
hmm
April
Yep.
vacation in
April
Massachusetts.
vacation.
I miss
Yes.
it. We don't have that in New Jersey.
You don't?
No, they had a couple days off around Easter, but they don't have like a full week off. And
Yep.
a funny thing is, Andrew and I, we were talking about the Boston Marathon, and he was like, well, it's always on President's Day, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, that's not a national holiday, right? Like it's just in Massachusetts. And I was like, wait, are you serious? Like I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah. We had some volunteers. One just started working in Rhode Island, so she couldn't come. And she used to run the marathon. She runs all the time. And
Oh,
we're
wow.
like, where is she? And they're like, she works in Rhode Island.
She doesn't have the day off anymore.
Right. We might get a little visitor. My little Chihuahua, Biggie, she's trying to get up. Oh,
Ah,
can you say hello? Say hi.
what's her name?
Biggie.
Biggie.
Because of her ears. When I rescued her, her name was Twiggy. And I was like, Twiggy. It just didn't like sit right for me. And I was like, look at her ears. They're so
Wow, she does
big.
have big ears.
They're massive. Yeah. So after
Oh,
3 boys, I figured, might as well have a girl.
that's so funny. So I have so many things to talk to you about because Massachusetts chapter has been so busy with things so far, and then you have so much you're doing in the future too. So the Boston Marathon just happened. If you want to talk about your experience with that and how that was for you, was this your first one that you were a part of the AFSP for, or?
So last year was my first one. So
Okay.
when I started with AFSP last December, so it's been almost a year and a half. So
Okay.
this was my second marathon with Team AFSP. And they raised, I think right now the team raised like 175,000 or close to. They were
Wow, that's
just
amazing.
under 175,000. Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
amazing. It was amazing. We had runners from all over the United States, New Jersey, Texas, Florida, Massachusetts. It was incredible. What an emotionally like fueled, amazing day of hope, healing. It was hot for the runners. For spectators, it was great, but running was, you could
Yeah.
see a lot of people were struggling because we haven't had warm weather here in
Right.
Boston. For everyone, if you're from here, you're training in not the greatest weather conditions, but it was a great, great day. We had a tent right past Newton Wellesley Hospital. We're always set up at mile 17. So we have our AFSP tent up there. So yeah, it was awesome. It was good.
That when I read about that, I had no idea that the AFSP ever did anything with the Boston Marathon. So that was really exciting for me to read. I was excited to see that.
Yeah, so we already have even prior to last year. Oh, this was because my mind, I was like, what was I going to say? We had 99 applications come in for team, and we had
Wow.
10 bibs, and then we had 4 qualified runners. So we only
Wow.
get 10 bibs, and we had 99 applicants. So we already shifted over to a spreadsheet for when the applications come out next year. And since the marathon was Monday, I probably have like I think I've responded to 10. Jess has responded. They're already coming in again. So
Wow, that's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
That's awesome though. Amazing support for the AFSP in
Mhm.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, the
And
Friday before
I'm
we always
sorry.
do a pasta dinner at the Newton Marriott with the team. So, we do Zooms, kind of like meet and greets, and a couple like every other month or so. And as we get closer, we meet more often. But it's really nice to bring everyone together in person before the day.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, yeah, it's great.
that's awesome. And the Massachusetts was just named the chapter of the year and won 5 other awards. So that's incredible. How exciting was that?
So exciting. So, the groundwork we do, there's 3 of us that work for the state, and we rely heavily on volunteers, obviously. And so it's just amazing having the power of the people, the power of the voices all across the state. And we know as employees all the things we're doing, and we're, but at the same time, it's like we were a little surprised. We weren't really surprised, but we were surprised. We were like, oh my goodness, because we're just like, we're in 1,000 directions. And it was just like, we were all like, oh, it was awesome. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And thank you, like, to all of our volunteers. Like, we can't do it without them. Including yourself, and, hold on till dawn, like getting the word out there, raising the funds, being the voice is just, it's amazing. So thank you.
You're amazing too. Okay, speaking of hold on till dawn, I wanted to talk about, so it was really exciting for me to have you guys there, and I've talked about it a little bit how the Delaware chapter was supportive, but Massachusetts was a little stronger presence in this concert for me. So it was really awesome to be able to talk to you ahead of time and have so much support and do the walk the next day. So I wanted to ask what your experience was like being at the concert and meeting everybody. And
I loved it. I loved it. I thought it was such a cool experience, meeting all these different artists from all over. It was so cool. And like from there, I went to the North Shore, because then you came to the walk the next day.
yeah.
And one of my friends, she's like, wait, so you're going to go to a concert, and then you're going to drive like an hour plus to stay at a hotel, and you're setting up for the walk, and you've never done this walk before, and it's a new location. And I was like, yeah. She's like, okay. I'm like, this is why I love what I do. It's more than just, here's our material request form for your tabling, and here's, some resources, what have you. It's about building relationships, creating those, and that's what makes a difference in each community. And like for you and I, like, I loved meeting with you and, talking to you on the phone, and then being there in person. Like, I think that makes such a bigger impact of what we're all trying to do.
Yes, absolutely.
Are you
And
coming back to Boston?
well, I am doing the September 7th walk in the Berkshires,
Oh,
but
you are?
yeah, I'm going to do that one because my friend
Yay!
lives out there. So Andrew and I already signed up for it. So I'm
Oh, you
excited
are?
to be back for
Amazing.
that. Yeah.
I was just in the Berkshires. I was in Pittsfield a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Good Friday. We were at Hot Plate Brewery. They're super supportive. We had kind of like a pre-walk kickoff for anyone who wanted to come
Oh,
in,
cool.
hear more about the walk. We're trying to build the committee there. So if you know anyone out there who would like to be on the committee,
Oh, cool.
we
My
have a
friend,
walk chair who's awesome, Sean Meal, and he's with the Berkshire Coalition, and he just won like this big award. It was like 40 under 40. He's turning 40 in September. And he's just such a big advocate for suicide prevention, mental health across the board in the Berkshire area, especially Pittsfield. So we're always looking for more members to help get the word out there. And
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, my friend actually lives, I think she lives in Pittsfield, and has been a big supporter of the AFSP. She was actually the one that took the pictures at the concert. So I'll tell
oh,
her that.
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Oh no, yeah, definitely have her reach out. And if she's listening when this airs, reach out to me.
Oh, she will be.
Yeah. There's a really cool hotel on North on Main. Have you stayed there
Mm-mm.
in Pittsfield? It's right on the main street, North on Main. It's like this boutique-y, chic-y, cool hotel. It's awesome. It's
Okay.
awesome. Yeah.
So the run to remember is May 27th, which is Memorial Day. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, so it's not an event. So Jessica Vandersard, who's our executive director, is overseeing that. But we have a team for the Run to Remember, representing AFSP, supporting their cause. I think it's great that so many different organizations can kind of intertwine with each other, because we're all here to, support mental health and stop suicide. And if it's, one life at a time, it's pretty powerful. So, I think it's right on Memorial Drive, I believe, right? Like either Memorial Drive, Charles, like right there on the river. So it's going to be a great day.
Okay, that's really cool. And then in June, I don't know if the Massachusetts chapter has anything to do with this, but the overnight walk is in Boston this year on the 22nd of June. Do
Yes,
you
so
guys have?
that we have our own team. So if you join our team, the Massachusetts team for the overnight, a portion of the funds raised go back to our chapter, being that it's
Okay.
hosted in Massachusetts, but it is a national event.
Yeah.
And each year it's somewhere different. Last year it was in DC. I don't know because I wasn't here the year before. I know it was in Boston before. And I'm doing it. It's 16
Oh,
hours.
yay. That's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
excited. I probably should start walking,
I know I thought about it, but I'm taking like so much time off of work for other things that I was like, I can't really do it. And also I would have to train a lot. But I do want to do it one time when it is in Boston because that would
hmm
mean more to me than anywhere else because that's where my dad is from. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's my goal to do it one day. I will. It's on my list.
Maybe, I mean, this is just my head spinning, the wheels spin, right? Is like do like a hold on till dawn team within the boss. Like if we come back to Boston in a few years, like
Yeah.
maybe you can have some of the singers come sing or something. I don't know.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. So we did
Yeah,
like a concert the night before and then do the walk
that would be so
after.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
that's a good idea. Okay.
Yeah. But you know what I loved about the concert, going back to the Hold On Till Dawn concert? Bringing the t-shirts and having the performers wear them. And then I see it on like social media, because obviously I
Oh,
follow everybody and
yes.
met them. And then I'll see like, I think your fiance had the Hope hat on. And
Uh-huh.
then, one of the guys in the t-shirt and another hat. I was like, yeah, it's so
Yes.
cool.
And Grace just posted an Instagram video and she was wearing the Demand More for Mental Health shirt.
Oh,
I was
she
like, yeah,
did.
yeah,
Oh, I love it. That's
yes.
awesome.
So that is really exciting. And
I'll have to go on and look.
I talked to Alex a couple weeks ago and she was saying how she like loved the little loot bag you guys did and it was so like thoughtful and nice and yeah, it was really special.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. And it was to me too. And again, it's just about building relationships and, keeping them strong. And I know we're all busy and going in 1,000 directions, but, you know, again, like we're all here for one important cause. And so, and I'm just such a people person too. That's why I'm doing this job. Like I could never just sit behind a desk 9 to 5 and like I'm like,
Uh-huh.
all right, let's go here, let's go there, let's meet this person. Like let's, I'll go somewhere and my friends are like, are you really gonna talk to them? I'm like, yeah, yes. Dunkin' drive-through coming up down the Cape last year, and the girl said she brought me to tears because she said she recently had some struggles, and I gave her the flyer to the walk. She came to the walk, and like that right there was like, oh, that's why I use my voice.
Yeah.
And my friend almost like she was like tearing up. She's like, now I get it. I'm like, yeah. And
Oh,
that's the thing, like you have to talk, and I think like there's still a stigma, but it's especially amongst like younger kids, and I have 3 boys, like like teens, young adults have to talk about it. They cannot hide like if they're struggling internally, they have to talk. And I tell my boys that all the time. All the time. And right now we're heavily into campus walks. We have 6 across the state, so I have 4 more, one at UMass this weekend. It's just in the stories you hear and young kids, and
yeah.
just always have that voice, talk to somebody, right? And so my youngest son, we were driving to school one day, he goes, Mom, I'm going to talk to my teacher today because X said this to someone, and it's hurtful and mean, and he's already sad. And I'm like, yes, you have to like use your voice.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know it's scary as a kid to speak up and
Mhm.
be honest about how you're feeling, but yeah, so important because it can prevent tragedy from happening.
Yep.
When you specifically are having a bad day or going through a rough time, what is something that you like to do to pull yourself out of it?
Music,
Nice.
always. Like I have 2. One's like the chill out station on Pandora. I'm still a Pandora user. I have Spotify on my phone, but
Oh
I
my
just feel
gosh, I
like
forgot about Pandora.
I know that's how old I am. My kids are like, they're like Pandora. I'm like, I just always had, I mean, I had a friend saying Napster. I was like, dude, Napster. I'm like, I can't. I'm like, that's a little much. But yeah, I have like my certain playlists that are like my go-to, especially at night because I'm a single mom of 3 boys. The work that I do is challenging at times, uplifting at other times. I mean, there's just stuff always coming at me. And so I feel like, especially at night, I just need to like breathe and like listen to music and just like shut it down.
Yeah.
completely. So I have my go-to playlist that I do.
That's great advice. That's really good. And I agree. When I listen to music, it totally like takes me out of my thoughts and puts me into like a totally different mindset. And that's really
Mhm.
what you need sometimes.
Yep.
And speaking of music, what kind of music do you like to listen to? And what is your current favorite song?
Oh boy. That's okay. So all right, well, can you guess? Like what genre do you think is my favorite? Would you be
Mm,
able to pinpoint it?
I have a guess, but like, what if I'm wrong and like this
That's
is
okay.
embarrassing?
This is the fun of it.
Um, I would guess like hip hop and R&B. Yeah?
It's totally, totally like hip hop all the way, old school hip hop. And like one of my Snoop, like I saw Snoop Dogg years ago in Vale Valley, and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like Snoop, you're in the middle of the mountains. It's probably like 15 years ago, but Drop It Like It's Hot is always like my go-to. Like drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. And so my boys like their music and like hip hop is like, eh. So I try to like, throw in some Biggie, like all like, yeah, I love it. I love it.
Oh, that's amazing. And you would get along
Mhm.
so well with Andrew because that is like his favorite too. He likes like the Beatles and like Bob Dylan and stuff, but
So don't I.
then he loves the old school hip hop too.
Yep. I can go like total, and I used to listen to like Nine Inch Nails and Rage Against the Machine. Like I am like across the board, like, but
Yeah.
my go-to is like hip hop and yeah. Like country, I can go to concerts. I like some of it, but it's not like I'm not like, let's put on country.
Literally same with Andrew. I think you guys are like the same person musically. Like he doesn't like country, but everything else you're saying he'll listen to.
Yes.
That's
All
so
right. Well, wait,
funny.
maybe we need to exchange some playlists.
Yeah.
Well, and if you're ever in Boston, so I recently went to Howl at the Moon, which is awesome because upstairs it's like the live band, and people are requesting songs, and then downstairs was like a 90s hip hop night. I was like,
Oh, wow.
so much fun. So much fun. We
I've
danced all
never
night.
heard of that. Where is that?
I think, uh, correct me if I'm wrong, I think there's two locations in Boston. Maybe this is how like outdated I am. It was down like near the aquarium area.
Okay.
I think, I think so. We went to dinner. I went with a few of my girlfriends. And then it was funny because one was like, all right, like let's go. I have stuff to do tomorrow. She has no kids, and they're all like 33, 34. And I was like, going? They're like, Mama's out. I'm like, we're not going home. Like 90s hip hop, we're dancing. And we had the best time. It's awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Howl at the Moon. Okay, I'll have to look that up. The last question I have is if you have any advice to anyone that's listening that's struggling, what would you say to them?
Use the crisis line 988. You can text it, you can call it, talk to somebody. You have to, you can't hold it in. And the moment of the deep, dark feelings like you can't get out, there's always light. There's always light. It can always get better. And I know that's so hard for someone who's in that dark moment, but just talking to someone and on the other side as a friend, just listen. You don't have to have all the answers. Just
Mhm.
be a good listener and like support your friend. And that's what's great about 9882 is that you can call if you're concerned for somebody. So you don't have to have your own personal struggles. You can still call and say, I'm really worried about my friend because of XYZ. But just don't do it alone. Don't, you're not alone. So many people are struggling. So just talk to somebody.
Very good advice. Thank you. And I didn't know that about 988, that if you know someone that's struggling, you can call and talk about it. So
Mhm.
that's really great.
And if you don't want to call and you just want to text,
Oh
just
yeah, you can
text.
text too. Yep.
Mm.
Good. Do you have anything else you want to talk about or share?
Uh, well, I would say for Massachusetts, in any chapter that you're in, right? Reach out to your local chapter. There's always volunteer opportunities. Being that we are a heavily volunteer-driven organization, we need the power of the people in the communities because your community's best. So if you're thinking about volunteering, volunteer. with your local chapter. You can find Massachusetts on Instagram and Facebook as AFSPMA. And then our website is afsp.org/Massachusetts.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And it
You're
was so great to
welcome.
talk to
So
you and
good to
see you. And I'll see you in
Come back to
September.
you'll see me in September.
Yeah.
But look at North on Main.
North on Main. Okay. Will do.
Amazing. It's like this, and you go upstairs and it looks like it's like the old wooden floors. They're like little apartments.
Oh,
And some of them have this like the standalone tubs.
oh, fancy.
Amazing. Fancy. Very fancy. You're like, where am I? Oh, okay, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up.
All right. Well, thank you, my friend. Good to see you.
Thank you. You too. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening. Our website is holdontilldawn.com and our email is holdontilldawn@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at holdontilldawn and on Facebook at Hold On Till Dawn Benefit Concert. See you next time.